Welcome to WB Mason Postgame Extra exclusively on SNY.TV. Thursday afternoon, the Mets snapped their 6-game losing streak as they won in St. Louis 5-2. Jon Niese, after 2 straight dreadful starts, got back on his game. His longest outing of the year, he went 7 1/3, and he was terrific.
Well, 113 pitches. It looks like that extra work on the side session he had here with Dan Warthen paid off big dividends. The Mets needed desperately for a starter to go deep, and it's been like with a couple pitchers now back-to-back, with Sean Markham going into the 6th yesterday, giving that bullpen a little respite. But Jonathan was in complete command of this Cardinal lineup, which is the #1 hitting offense in the National League. So kudos to Niese. Looks like he's back on the beam.
You know, he threw some 93-mile-an-hour fastballs today. He hasn't done that all year. His cutter was very good. That's why he got the ground balls. And his two-seamer was good today. So, you know, he got it working. And so whatever they did in the bullpen worked. And, you know, and John took it out tonight with him.
Glad, you know, Dan and I was able to get that good work in the bullpen, you know, figure out what was going wrong mechanically, and fortunately I was able to fix it.
After we got 2, I think it was that next inning, he came up and put a 0, and that's when you're like, okay, you know, he's locked in today, and it was really nice to see.
I got to tell you, I wasn't worried about John. You know, I do believe the cold weather took a lot out of him. I really and truly do. And, you know, it caused some stiffness in him, and he didn't throw a pitch very good, but I just felt, I knew he's going to get it going. If there's no arm issues, which there wasn't, you know, he's going to pitch well. And I think right now, as the weather starts to get warm, you're going to see the Jon Niese that we're all accustomed to seeing.
You know, it's a step in the right direction, obviously. And we had a rough go there for a while, and hopefully this is a sign for better things to come.
And the Mets, who've always had some success against Adam Wainwright, had more today. Daniel Murphy, who had an unbelievable series, who went 10 for 16 in the 4 games, a 4-hit day today to lead the charge.
Well, he did everything a 2-hitter's supposed to do. He scored 2 runs. He drove in 1 run, had 2 doubles.
A little bit less anxiety. I think it's always nice to, you know, the first swing in the series I get a base hit, and it kind of relieves some of the pressure. But you know, Hudge has been working, trying to stay behind the ball, and just really trying not to give at bats away. That's what happens, I think, you know, with all of us is the season keeps coming every day, that if you don't feel good, you know, 4 turns into 8, turns into 15, all of a sudden it's 30, and you feel like you've thrown them in the trash, and just to continue to compete every at bat.
Dan had a tough couple of weeks where he wasn't swinging very good. We all knew in the end he's gonna hit 320. It's just what he does, and when he gets it going, you know, he can be very dangerous. And, you know, right now when we can start getting him ahead of David, we're going to start scoring some runs.
David Wright again, very consistent. It was a kind of a questionable call late. I'm going to give David a base hit, so hopefully it'll be changed. It was a force out at second base. There was no error on the play. They called it a fielder's choice, so that we'll give David 3 for 5 on the day. We'll see if that's changed. So between Murph and the 2 and 3 hole, they've been the consistent guys that have been doing it for the Mets. David drove in 2, so the Mets have a get out of Dodge here with a win off to Chicago.
I wish you were the official scorer.
I'm always for the hitter.
We go on to Wrigley Field now, where the Mets open a 3-game series against the Cubs on Friday afternoon. Matt Harvey makes his 9th start of the year, 4-0, but 4 straight no decisions for Harvey, who carries a 1.44 ERA into his start against the Cubs. Our coverage begins on SNY with Pepsi first pitch at 1:30 for the coverage on Friday afternoon. That'll do it for WB Mason Postgame Extra. Be sure to join us after every game for exclusive coverage on SNY.TV.